Welcome to the Worshipped Woman podcast. I am your host, kellykristin. I am a life and relationship coach, deep healing facilitator, and subconscious change expert. On this podcast, we will dive deep into personal growth, transformation, and relationships, releasing patterns of toxicity, codependency, and people-pleasing as we explore what it means to be the worshipped woman. If you are ready to heal, embody your worth, and raise your standards in life and love, you are in the right place. I am so happy to have you here. Now, let's get started. Hello, sisters. Welcome back to the Worshipped Woman podcast. I am so very grateful that you are here. And if you are a woman that is in the process of healing from toxic relationships, maybe you just left your toxic relationship or you've been out for a little while and you're like, you know what, I really want to start the healing process. I want to figure out how to heal my wounds and not repeat this pattern ever again and actually just feel like a powerful woman and live my life how I want to live it. I really want to invite you into the next round of Heal, Rise, Thrive. I am just finishing up another round right now, and it has been absolutely incredible. Heal, Rise, Thrive is a mixture of the right information that you need and nervous system expansion. It's embodiment work. It's subconscious mind work. It's basically the culmination of 6-7 years of my own personal work and study to be able to truly release the past, heal the old wounds, and step into a completely new version of you, the thriving woman version of you. I will put a link in the show notes. You can sign up to get on the waiting list, which I will be opening soon. And if you are on the waiting list, you will be getting a special little surprise. So I'll put the link in the show notes if you're interested in that. Of course, you can always send me a DM, ask me any questions that you have, but I will be putting out some more information on that soon as I finalize just when the next round is going to start. Today, I'm very excited to speak to you about something that I think is pretty important. And it's something that I find pretty alarming within the spiritual community. And today we are talking about the concept of twin flames. And if you have not heard this concept before, do me a favor, don't go look it up. Because it, to me, is going to be a little bit of a waste of time. But if you're somebody who has looked it up and you have been wondering if, this person that I'm in this toxic relationship with is actually my twin flame, then I want to speak to you today because this is important. And it's something that I see way too often and something that I actually went through myself. So the concept of a twin flame is really like there's this concept that it is the other half of our soul, that your actual twin flame, it's like your soul was one, it was split into two, and then you have this other half, and no matter what happens in life, like you're going to find each other, you're going to be with each other, and this can be a very toxic dynamic, but you're supposed to be together because it's your twin flame. Now, maybe that is not the exact definition that you have heard. I have heard a variation of that, but something similar to that. It's usually always along the lines of that. There are some spiritual teachers that will tell you, well, you're not really supposed to be with your twin flame because maybe they're not in this lifetime. Maybe they're just a lesson or whatever it is. But it's this concept that you are somehow really supposed to be with this person or somehow karmically attached to this person that treats you like shit. And I think this is important because I truly believe, and you've maybe heard me speak on this before, that we are spiritual beings here. We are cosmic beings. We are having a human experience, but we have souls that go far beyond our bodies, that, what we see and experience as our reality is very little compared to what is actually real and what's actually going on. And I also come from this philosophy that we really don't know. And so when I hear concepts like this, like a twin flame, like, oh, but he's my twin flame or she's my twin flame and we're supposed to be together. What that is doing is actually just really putting you into a state of cognitive dissonance, which is when our mind just wants to latch onto any fantasy reality that we create that takes us out of the actual bad reality that we're living in. Cognitive dissonance is something very, very common. And if you go back to the episode that is titled The Invisible Forces That Are Keeping You Stuck Inside of Toxic Relationships, I break that down a lot more. But basically, when you're talking about somebody being your twin flame that you know is hurting you, that you know is not healthy for you, that you know is not good for you, or, borderline abusive even, that is not a feasible thing. And if you really think about spirituality and the concepts that we try to make sense of in our human minds, it doesn't make any sense to me that anybody could ever tell me that the person that was like attached to my soul was abusive. Why would I ever want to believe that? And why would that be a good thing? See, that makes absolutely no sense. And the concept of twin flame, like who even made that up? That's like a human thing. Right? Like, this is how I'm interpreting what Spirit said, and we're going to call it this thing, and it's going to be this, and that's the rule. No, it's completely made up, especially in spirituality. I mean, there are no hard and fast things that are like absolutely true. Truth is your perception of the truth. So why would I want to believe that the truth is that my twin flame, the person that my soul is supposed to be with, is somebody who is harmful or abusive towards me in any way? It makes no sense. And I actually have the power to say, wow, you know what? If my soul wants to experience love and be cared for and nourished, and that's what I desire, why would my soul want to be with somebody who cannot provide that for me? That actually makes no sense at all. So maybe that's not the truth. And so I just want you to start questioning things. Like really, I want you to start questioning things. What is actually true? Truth is incredibly relative. There are very few things that are like absolutely true with a capital T. This is the truth and there's no other perception. Because what we believe as true is just based off of our own perceptions, based off our own experiences, based off what we think we know. But if you're into growth, if you're into change, then you will realize like your truths change all the time. What maybe you thought was true 5 years ago certainly isn't true now. That's growth, that's expansion, that's learning, right? We can't believe the same things all of the time. So I want to get you to a space in your life where you really just start questioning things. Like if a narrative isn't serving you, if a story isn't serving you, I want you to start questioning, like, is that actually true? Is there any other possibility here? And when you're listening to spiritual teachers or you're listening to things like this, I think it's incredibly popular on YouTube, right? All these, but my twin flame is the runner and I'm the chaser and all of these crazy, crazy things. And if you're into this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That is not true. And it is not helpful for you to be stuck in this dynamic, believing that the person that you're supposed to be with, you would somehow have to chase down and get them to change who they are in order to be with you. That's not right. As humans, we do this really, really weird thing where it's like we have needs and we know what we want and we desire something. And then we'll be with a partner for a while and it's clear that they can't meet our needs. They are not, doing what we want them to do. And then instead of saying, oh, you know what, this actually just maybe isn't working for me. We were not supposed to be together. We work really, really hard to try to change this other person and to like hope, maybe, and believe one day that they could possibly be this image that we have of them that we created in our mind. But they're not the image that we created in our mind. They are who they are. Our job is to accept who they are and not try to go looking for these crazy concepts that tell us, oh, actually, this is just how it is. And actually, spiritually, your twin flame is going to be the one to like awaken your soul to a higher level and blah, 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 blah. I'm passionate about this because I know that for sure when I really got into spirituality and really wanted to learn as much as I could, and I learned about the concept of twin flames, in my mind I was like, oh my gosh, like my ex, like this person that abused me, like what if he was my twin flame? Because like, you're the runner and the chaser and they hurt you and they bring you down. That is crazy talk. That is crazy talk. And here's the other side of it. If you are sitting out there and you're like, oh yeah, but that's the truth. That's what it is. I honestly don't care if that is the truth or not, because it's not my truth. You understand? Whatever is true for you is your truth. That's not true for me. Again, nobody who's abused me or who's treated me badly it's never going to be somebody that my soul is intertwined with. Do I believe in karmic connections? Do I believe that, we had a soul contract to meet each other so that I could expand, so I could be the woman that's sitting here talking to you today? Absolutely, I think that's true. But they're not my twin flame that I am tethered to, that are somehow the other opposite side of my soul. That to me is just a recipe to believe and to let people treat you badly for the sake of something that is a completely made up human concept that we try to put on as spiritual. So the moral of the story is this: if you are in a position where you are really trying to justify somebody's poor behavior towards you, or you are just looking for advice or looking how you can get this person back or what's going on, and you feel badly and they treat you badly and they treat you poorly, if somebody's treating you badly, if somebody's treating you in a way that is abusive, physically, mentally, emotionally, that's an indication that you're not supposed to be with that person, and that you deserve so much more than that, and that you are worth so much more than that. But you have to decide that. That decision comes from within you. You deserve that. Okay? Hopefully you found this episode helpful. If you know another sister that needs to hear it, I ask that you please share it. And if you feel so inclined to leave me a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, I would be so very grateful. I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you soon.